Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me again, Lannis, back with another portrait time-lapse. Just working with these pencils and paper, getting back to the basics. And, as of recently, I've been in my feelings. I have a son. My son has gone back to North Carolina to stay with his mom, so I was just like deep in my fatherhood bag with this one, looking up different images of, famous people with their kids. And there's a lot of great dads out there. There's a lot of great people out there that I could have drawn, but came across this picture of Kobe and Gigi, and it kind of just warmed my heart like so much, man. As we all know, unfortunately, we lost a legend. And even more unfortunate, we lost his daughter, who, wasn't able to see her full potential. She was only just a child. And, I just wanted to show my respects and, do this portrait because, I look up to Kobe Bryant intensely as a man, and I don't play professional basketball. I don't intend to, but as a ball player, as someone who has learned the game of basketball, there's so many lessons in the game of basketball that transfers over to real life. True basketball players know this. It's the same thing with martial arts, same thing with football and many sports. It's a lot of life lessons that can be taught. And, I felt a great bit of sadness when he died in 2020, but personally, I know people who are die-hard Kobe Bryant fans, and I had to make some phone calls because I know people who shed tears for Kobe Bryant. They were probably bawling their eyes out when they heard that man passed away. So this just goes to show how great of an impact he had on his fans. And not only was he a great basketball player, but even after he retired, he continued to do community work, continued to do a lot of coaching, a lot of interviews where he was, giving his secrets to greatness and how you become great. A lot of people are good at a lot of things. A lot of people are talented, but greatness, it takes a different amount of dedication and sacrifice, and he was all for that. And I was really listening to how even sometimes he had to dissociate himself. I was listening to how he became Black Mamba, how that name even came about. He had to dissociate like himself as Kobe Bryant in real life versus when he stepped onto the court. He had to completely separate himself and become a whole new beast. Like, what did he say? Damn, what did he say? He was like, but are you a different animal in the same beast? Is that what he said? Or a different beast in the same? It's something in Kanye West commercial with Kobe Bryant. It's like he wasn't a different person, but he was. You feel me? Like he became the Black Mamba, and you had to respect him. It was people who were on the court with him where that surpassed respect. It was like you had to fear him when he stepped on the court because you can't do anything. You can do the best you can to defend him. You can do the best that you can, but you can't do anything. Your team is going to lose if Black Mama steps on the court. And so I just respect that tenacity and that ferociousness that he brought to the game. And, it's inspiring to see someone transcend basketball. It's only a few people who are able to do that. Obviously, this is why we have Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James in the same conversation, because at a point in time where you just get so good and you just make it look so easy, it's like, obviously this is all he can do. All he can do is play basketball. But nah, bro, this man created a brand around his name. His shoes, his clothing. This man even tried to make music at some point in time. It's just crazy. This man has, started making films towards his retirement that are just like incredible. Honestly, he's getting into storytelling. He's probably an amazing coach for his daughter's basketball team. And, you just have to respect the man. He was an amazing public speaker as well. Because, you can just go down the YouTube rabbit hole and just listen to this man speak. Just listen to him give these interviews where he's telling what it takes to be as great as Kobe Bryant. And he would even tell us what it takes to be as great as Michael Jordan. He would say how he met Michael on the court and how they had an exchange of conversation. And at some point in time, he said he just wanted to be the best he could be. But, they had similar qualities to where Michael Jordan didn't do that many interviews. He didn't give that many speeches to where you found out his secret formula. But when you listen to Kobe, you kind of understand that it takes a lot of sacrifice. You sacrifice time spent with your family. You sacrifice the image of being the good guy. You sacrifice, passing the ball sometimes. You sacrifice being a good team player sometimes. And it's just a lot of sacrifice that goes into practice. Practice. I'm going to finish practice, this regularly scheduled practice, and I'm going to continue to practice on my own immediately after this is finished. It's like practice on practice. And then you got kids, you got a family, you got a wife. You have to make sure that they understand that, hey, I'm not going to be spending as much time with you as you would like because I'm trying to win championships, and I can't be great if I spend spare time that I could be using to perfect my craft on vacation. I can't spend time on vacation. I can't spend time going on summer trips and stuff in the off season. In the off season, I'm working. Obviously he didn't do that throughout every single year of his career. He probably made time at some point in time to spend with his wife, spend with his family. But, some relationships are going to be tarnished throughout the span of your career if you choose to give it all you got. Not the bare minimum, not 50%, not 75%, not even 90%. If you're going to give 100% of yourself to something, you're going to have to make sacrifices. And, I learned this, and I'm still working on it. I try my best to be the greatest artist that I can be. But sometimes I had to learn that, hey, I have to sacrifice time spent with my son, and let him go live with his mom. I have to sacrifice time spent with my friends and going to parties and let them have that moment. And, I miss out on the fun. I have to sacrifice time spent with, laying up with my girl or, cuddling and stuff. When I work, I'm like, look, I can't be all laid up and I need to go work on my craft. Time spent with family, family gatherings and family going out to vacations and all that stuff. I missed out on a lot of things. because I just want to be better. I just want to draw better. I want to tattoo better. I want to learn how to do murals. I want to learn how to do graphics. I just want to be the greatest artist that I can be. And I have to sacrifice time spent with other people in order for me to be great. And there's still so much to learn. Kobe was a hard worker, man. He was playing basketball professionally since he was 17, 18, 19. I think 19, 18 or 19 years old. He was playing professional basketball. And stayed with the same team. That is loyalty at its finest. Let's talk about loyalty for a second. Jesus Christ. What player do you know that stayed with the exact same organization, who was as great as Kobe Bryant, who was as skilled as Kobe Bryant, who stayed with the same organization throughout the entirety of his career? That's insane. That is, you have to applaud that, because at some point in time, when you care about winning so much, you care about championships so much, you got all these phases of players coming in and out, and if you don't win it, if you're so used to winning championships and you don't win a championship 2 years in a row, or 3 years in a row, or even 4 years in a row, there's the temptation, there's a temptation to move, and there had to be offers. There were probably tons. There was probably every single team in the NBA who would want Kobe to be on their team. LeBron did it a different way, but it's no shade to him. But that's just pure greatness. You can't even be mad at that. The loyalty is impressive, man. It's impressive. And I just wanted to tap into his daughter real quick. His daughter was so young, man. She was just becoming a great basketball player. And, it's a blessing to have your father be Kobe Bryant, but I can't imagine losing my child at such a young age. And God forbid, if something was to happen to my son, I would honestly want to go right along his side. If you take him, take me, please. But God forbid anything happen to my child before he reaches his full potential. I see greatness in my son. I'm not sure if my son wants to follow my exact footsteps. I want him to be better than me. I made a lot of mistakes growing up, and I teach my son everything. I teach my son about sacrifice. I teach my son about discipline and being self-motivated, determining on if you really, really want to in order to be great, or if you just kind of like doing it for fun. I teach him about honor and respect. I teach him about the things that make a great player, that make a legend. You can't be legendary, you can't be great if you're gonna choose to play video games versus practicing your craft. But if you want to be a great gamer, which a lot of people do, then you put all your time into that. But sometimes you have to be brutally honest with your kids. You have to tell them during practice, hey, you didn't do that right, do it again. You didn't do it right, let's do it again. And even after they do it right, let's do it again. Kids are sensitive. Children are very sensitive. My son is sensitive. He's so talented. He's pretty much good at almost every single sport that I've put him in. Basketball, soccer. He's good at throwing the baseball, throwing the football. He's good at swimming. He likes to skate. He likes to do these video games. He's impressing me the older he gets. He's only He's 7 years old. He's about to be 8. And my son is pretty impressive, I'm not going to lie. But there's a frustration there sometimes when you're teaching your kid how to be great and teaching your kid how to practice and practice and practice without getting frustrated and not seeing an immediate result. We're getting frustrated that you're working to the point of exhaustion. There's a frustration there. And the fact that Kobe Bryant had a daughter who understood that, hey, my dad set the bar. This is going to be an uphill battle for me because, one, I'm a girl, I'm probably little, I'm sensitive, and, two, I have big shoes to fill, and my coach is going to be, expecting to winning. I don't know how he was with his daughter's team, and they were like, "Oh, let's go out here and have fun." I don't know if that's how how Kobe Bryant was coaching his team. It doesn't seem like it, but every coach wants their team to win, and there's a different pressure when you're coaching your child. Because my dad used to coach me when I was playing basketball, and it was frustrating, man. It was frustrating on both ends. Because you just want to see your child win. You want to see your child be successful. Thankfully, my father was able to see me become a success in the art world. And I'm thankful for that. I'm super thankful that he was able to see me win at something. Because my dad used to play basketball. He used to play football. And, he groomed me to be a good basketball player. It was amazing. It was a lot of time spent bonding with my dad through the game of basketball, playing sports, throwing the football around. And those are moments that I cherish, Unfortunately for Kobe's other children, they're not going to be able to have those moments. And I grieve for this man and his daughter. I grieve for them because, life is so short, but, it's hard to, it's just hard to accept when, you feel like people are taken too soon, gone too soon. It's like hard to accept it. It's hard to understand it. It's hard to wrap your mind around it. It's like this man was a legend. And he was going to continue to do legendary things. The same as Nipsey. It's like he's a legend and he was going to continue to do legendary things. He was not done. But we've seen Kobe do some amazing things on the court. His chapter was over. That chapter in his life came to an end. And we were able to see him play and do extraordinary things on the court that you wouldn't even believe. My son wouldn't even believe it if I said, hey, within 4 quarters of the game, this man scored 80-something points. How do you even And shout out to Kobe, man. Shout out to Kobe. I know at some point in time, people thought he was an asshole. People thought he wasn't a team player. People thought he was this, he was that. Going through what he went through. People thought he was going to be over. He got his little injuries or whatever. But shout out to that man. He's the reason that you should never give up, man. He's the reason you should strive to be great. Greatness. He's instilled in all of us. And shout out to my mentor, man. My mentor is like Kobe Bryant to me. Shout out to Melvin. I did a video on him the other day as I was drawing a portrait of him. You should go check that out. But R.I.P. Kobe, R.I.P. Gigi. Sending much love and prayers to you and the Evans, man. I hope you're watching over us. Hope you're watching over your fam, man. Much love. Peace.